Before we left for home from our place in Florida the other day, I wanted to listen to a new book on the flight, and I had started a few other books, and they were okay, but I needed one that really grabbed me, one that just was going to, take me for 2 hours of flight all the way home and get my attention. So I had heard about the book Atomic Habits, and I never bought it for some reason. So I thought, you know what? James Clear wrote the book. It's supposed to be a great book. I think they sold over 9 million copies already. And I thought, this is the book. So I got the book, and it was the book. Okay, so going to put a little picture of the book up here. And you can see, if you've not read this book, it is an awesome book. And if you read the book, you know it's awesome. Okay? So here's 3 takeaways from this book real quick before we get started on the podcast. Number 1, James Clear says, every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to become. I thought, wow, isn't that the truth? What can you do right now that will move you to a better place? Think about that. Number 2, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Another wow. Keep making small changes in your life, in your business. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. And number 3, your habits shape your identity, and your identity shape your habits. Start verbally describing yourself as how you would like to be. Start small and work up, and this will help create the habits to get you there, okay? Let's get started. Hey, this is Greg McAfee, and welcome to the Greg McAfee Show. Now let's get started. Well, welcome back to the Greg McAfee Show, where we discuss steps to successful entrepreneurship, how to take your business to new heights, and ultimately follow your dreams. Today, we're going to be discussing how to develop habits of success in business. First thing I want to talk about is the foundation. That's defining success in business. Because every time we talk about success, somebody says, what's your definition of success? Or they say, my definition of success is not your definition of success. And that's fair. We're all different. I said if I talked to 20 different people, I'd probably get at least 10 different answers of what success means to them. So here are the 10 that I hear the most. Number 1, financial stability. Achieving a level of profitability that provides financial stability and sustains the business operations. I have a few sayings at McAfee and in my businesses, and one is, we put the bread and butter on tables, okay? So we provide jobs for many people, like you do, or like you may do, and we put bread and butter on tables. Now, they definitely do the work. I mean, our team does the work. They earn their money, most of them. But we put bread and butter on tables, and we provide jobs, and we provide hours for people so they can put bread and butter on their tables, okay? If that makes sense. So number 1 is financial stability. That could be one for someone that they say, my definition of success is financial stability. If I have that, I'm successful. Okay, there you go. Number 2 is customer satisfaction. Building a loyal customer base and consistently meeting or exceeding customers' expectations. Don't forget, without a customer, nothing happens. We can be the best leader, we can have the best team, we can have the best building, we can have the nicest trucks, we can win contests that have the nicest wraps on the trucks, but if we don't do our job to earn customers, nothing happens. We'll be out of business extremely fast, okay? So number 1 was financial stability. Number 2, customer satisfaction. Number 3 is personal fulfillment. Finding personal satisfaction and fulfillment through entrepreneurship and the pursuit of one's passion. In other words, I did it. I made it happen. What an accomplishment. I started with, personally, $274 in a used truck. Today we're doing multi-millions. It's an accomplishment. It's a personal fulfillment. That could be a great way to describe your success. Number 4 could be work-life balance. I hear this often today. I probably hear it too much. I'll be honest with you. More than I've ever heard it in my 33 or 34 years, going on 34 years of business. Establishing a balance between work and personal life is a great thing to do. Nothing wrong with that. We need to avoid burning out. We need to enjoy a healthy lifestyle. There's a fine balance, though, folks. There's a fine balance, and fine balance is the key here, because too much work has caused people to lose their families. And then too much personal life has caused people to lose their businesses. So there is definitely a fine balance of work-life balance. It's very important. But anybody that says, my personal life comes first beyond everything else, well, you know what? Your business is a person, and you're putting that person at the bottom. So don't be disappointed if it doesn't succeed well. And the same works if you put too much of your life into your business, because your family's going to suffer, your personal life's going to suffer, and it doesn't go well either way. Number 5, community impact. This is a great way to describe your success, that you made an impact in your community by contributing positively to your local community, whether it's through job creation, whether through supporting local initiatives, or providing valuable services. I mean, it's part of mine. I have my definition of success. All these things are in there. I'll tell you that. All these things are in mine, but there's a few that float to the top, just like yours do. Okay. Number 6 is continuous growth. I mean, let's face it. If your business isn't growing, it's coasting, and it'll eventually die because you're going downhill. So achieving gradual and sustainable growth in terms of revenue, market share, and business overall impact is going to be whether your business lives or dies. Now, don't forget, your business is not, my business is not an adult daycare. What it is a for-profit business, and it has to make money. So continuous growth, if done correctly, will make more money. And more money pays the bills, keeps the lights on, pays employees, does all that kind of stuff that it takes to run a business. All right, number 7, innovation and adaptability. That talks about embracing innovation. It's one of mine on here. Innovation is the McAfee way. It's part of the 6 things of McAfee: integrity, care, culture, consistency, innovation, and team. Okay? So innovation and adaptability is embracing innovation and adapting to changing market conditions to stay relevant and, guess what? Competitive. You've got to stay up with what's going on. I talk about that often. You've got to stay up with what's going on in your industry. You've got to stay up with what's going on in business. If you're still offering a lower efficiency rating than everybody else, you're not going to be around long. You think you might be because you can sell it cheaper, but most people want the higher efficiency. They want to save energy. They want to save money. They're willing to pay more to save more. All right, number 8. This could be your definition of success: quality relationships. Building strong relationships with your team, your customers, and your suppliers. And then fostering a positive business environment, okay? Fostering a positive business culture. If you had to describe your culture or your environment, would it be positive? If I had to come in and ask your team members individually, describe the business environment, describe the business culture, would it be positive? All right, number 9, brand recognition. And folks, these are all very important. These are all very important. But they can be how you describe your success, okay? Brand recognition is extremely important. Establishing a strong brand presence. You've got to have a presence in your market that stands out beyond everyone else. And being recognized as a reputable and trustworthy business within your industry. I mean, where do you rate? I'll tell you where we rate, and I've told you this on the show before. We're number 1 in our market out of about 490 to 500 companies in our Dayton, Ohio market. And we rate by many different studies number 1, okay? Because we have that brand recognition. We're known for, number 1, trust. We're known for integrity. We're known for doing it right. We're known for standing out and being innovative. We're known for community involvement. We're known. Last chapter of my book, Be Known. Okay, number 10, out of the 10 that we talked about, is personal development. I've heard people say, I define success, a large part of success, as personal development, continuous learning, growing as an entrepreneur, acquiring new skills and gaining valuable experiences, and then also training others so they have personal development. Part of what we do here at McAfee is train more than any other company. We spend a lot of hours individually, hundreds of hours per person in training here at McAfee, because that's important to us. So it's important to note that success is very subjective, okay? And you may prioritize different aspects based on your values, your goals, and the nature of your small business. A small business definition is, I think it's somewhere around 1,000 employees or less. So I'd say it's fair to say that most of you I'm speaking to out there have less than 1,000 employees. So we're all small businesses. And your definition of success is subjective. It's going to be different than mine. It's going to be different than your competitor. I hope so. But I would say, safe to say, that these 10 that we talked about today, that your top 3 is probably in here somewhere or close to it, okay? And that's what I wanted to get across today. So if we explore the idea that habits of success are often aligned with specific goals and values, we will see that the habits of success refers to our behaviors, our routines, and our actions. And they contribute to achieving success. So all these things I talked about today, these 10 things, they contribute to achieving success. And like I said, you might think all 10 of these are important, but if you had to rate them, you could probably do a 1 through 10 and rate them, and I challenge you to do that as well. These habits can also include things like effective time management, goal setting, continuous learning, we talked about, and positive mindset, okay? Your attitude as a business owner matters. It matters how you climb the ladder, and it matters how fast you get to the top, okay? Now, it took us 25 years to get to number one. I didn't get to number one. The 22nd year, we were in the top 10, okay? It took me a lot longer to do things because I didn't know what I didn't know. And we didn't have podcasts like this. I read hundreds of books at the time, and I learned a lot, and I took a lot of classes at some very high-end business courses by extremely smart business people. But we didn't have YouTube, and we didn't have podcasts, and we had internet, but it was extremely slow. It wasn't used like it is today. So we climbed that ladder slowly. Today, you could climb a lot. I could have climbed a lot faster today knowing what I know now and having the technical aspect and abilities that we have today. I don't know how much faster, but I know I could have done it quicker. So that alignment also, it aligns with my specific goals. That's very important. See, if you're only after that Lamborghini, if you're only after that yacht, if you're only after having a certain amount of money in the bank, you're going to be very disappointed. You say, how am I going to be disappointed with that, Greg? Because it doesn't do much for people. I can tell you that the people that have only chased that were left very disappointed when they found it, and then they had to get rid of it fast because they didn't sustain what they owned or what they earned well enough, and they lost it all. A lot of them lost it all, and they lost it pretty fast. Now, I'm not talking about the people that I know that have worked extremely hard and worked extremely smart, and they've chosen to have those yachts, and they have that 9-digit plus net worth, and they have a Lamborghini, okay? There's a different kind of person that has worked hard and decided later to get that because they have the money to do so. And then there's that person that chases only that. They think it's success. Has nothing to do with success, actually. It's a major ego problem. There's a lot of problems that come along with that kind of ego, but I'm not going there today. So, but you've got to align with your specific goals. And at McAfee, we say we're going to take care of the customer better than anyone else, and the byproduct of that is more sales, more revenue, and being number one in your market. And, you know, I always say you can go around the United States and you can find companies that do $300 million a year, and you can find companies that do $50 million a year here and there, and you can find companies do $100 million here and there, and you can find companies that do between $3 and $5 million here and there, and they might be number one in their market because their market's smaller, and they're killing it in their market. And the 300 million, they're killing it in their market. Or 300 million is just a spot on the map in their market, and they could probably do 900 million if they wanted. So it all depends on your market. It all depends on where you're at, your demographics, your income level of your area. All those things matter. I don't get caught up in someone doing 100 million a year. Sometimes, I don't want to say this because I don't want to take anything away from that $100 million a year company, but sometimes if you're put in the right location, you too could do 100 million a year. You're not going to do it where you're at because there's not even 100 million available in your area, but there is 5 million available in your area, and if you can hit that, that's a great goal. Okay, so don't get caught up in the total revenue type of thing. We put people on a pedestal because they're in a certain area and they do a certain amount. And we shouldn't do that. We really shouldn't do that. There's some really good business owners that have great leadership abilities running a 5, 10, 15, $20 million company that's killing it and number one in their market. Okay? All right. Anyway, get off my horse there. But it's true. So we've got to align with our values. And for example, if integrity is a core value for you, like it is for us, if business habits should reflect your honesty and your ethical practices. So this alignment increases the likelihood of your sustained motivation. It also sustains the consistency you have in your business, and it also sustains and enhances the fulfillment in the pursuit of success, which you should be pursuing success. Whatever your definition is of success, you should be pursuing that constantly. It should be top of mind. So as we wrap up this first part of how to develop habits of success, let's reflect on your individual definition of success, like we talked about today. Maybe yours wasn't in the top 10. Maybe yours is something else. And see how it relates to you. Because it doesn't matter to me what your definition of success is, as long as you have one. So I challenge you today, write down your definition of success. Maybe the top 3. It would help. See it in writing. Maybe you've never done that before. And see how it relates to you and your business endeavors. And that will help take you to the next level, whatever that level might be. Okay? All right. So before we wrap up, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe below. You can also support this podcast by rating and reviewing on iTunes or your preferred listening platform. Keep listening. I'll do my best to keep challenging you. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram or Facebook at The Greg McAfee Show. No spaces, no underscores. Be sure to tune in. Keep tuning in. We will have part 2 of this soon. And we also, I'll keep challenging you to the best of my ability. So, as always, thanks for listening. Carry on. God bless. And we're not guaranteed another day, so make this day a great day. See you later.